Here's a quick video for you on shaping bread rolls. The best way to get even rolls is to use a high-sided rectangular tin, like this one here, with a little bit of olive oil, just to make sure it doesn't stick. But this is a good quality tin, so it's not much of an issue. Once your tin is greased, you get to work on your dough. Now, this has been proving now for about an hour. And it's lovely and fluffy. I'm just going to knock the air back out of the dough and then start dividing it up into the 12 rolls. So the easiest way is just to go in half. Check that they feel the same. And half again. Making sure that they feel the same. And then you can divide each of these balls into 3. You can weigh them out to be exact. Otherwise, just have a good feel for the size. So once your dough is divided up, then you're just going to begin to shape them into the individual rolls. This is the cheese and bacon roll recipe from the recipe community, and I'll put the link up as well. So I'm just going to do the last bits and then get shaping. You don't need to use a thermomat, but I just find it a bit easier for working on. If they don't feel quite even, just divide them up from the other ones until you're happy with how they feel. So I'm happy with those. My first one, roll it out slightly under the palm of your hand. And just tuck all the edges under until you get a nice smooth top like this. And place it into your tray. And keep going with all the other balls like so. Pop them in the tray, making sure that you spread them out evenly. This tray works brilliantly, having 4 rows of 3. Just make sure that all of those ends are tucked under and you're left with a nice smooth top. As you can see, it doesn't take very long. Once it's all done, then we're just going to leave them to proof again before baking in the oven. So that's the first 6 done. Do the other ones in the same way. The rolls have been proving now for another 30 to 40 minutes. They've doubled in size and they're almost ready to go in the oven. So as the recipe says, I'm just going to score across the top of each one. Make sure you use a nice sharp knife so that you're not pulling through the dough too much. And then in here I've got my filling already made. You can see there's some grated cheese, some bacon pieces and an egg. I've just mixed it all together so that the egg can help it to stick onto the dough. So I'm just going to put a little bit onto each one. And that'll be a topping for my cheese and bacon rolls. Now these rolls are perfectly fine to pop in the freezer. They defrost really well. They keep comfortably for a couple of days, but because of the bacon, I don't like to keep them much longer than that. So if they're in the freezer, I can just grab them out for lunches in the morning and they're defrosted nicely by the time they come to eat them. This is a take on the Baker's Delight cheese and bacon rolls. We think they're just as good, if not better. They're definitely cheaper, and they really don't take that much time to make. Once all this mix is on, just spread it around and it can go straight into the oven. You can do it separately, doing an egg wash first and then covering it with grated cheese and bacon. I just find mixing it together helps it to stick on the roll a bit better. And there isn't too much that ends up falling off. So now that I've emptied it out, I'm just going to spread it over. Just covering the top of my roll, like so. It will naturally spread out a bit as it cooks as well. So there you have it, ready to go in the oven. Homemade cheese and bacon rolls.